Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Pagani Imola at Golden Max in Asphalt 9 multiplayer. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and check out my brand new Furum Clips channel. The link will be in the description, and I hope you enjoy this video. I figured that since I recently made a video about the Victor at Golden Max, I'd make another one about the Huera at Golden Max, this time in multiplayer, because previously I tested this car at Golden Max, but it was just in the test drives. These races were recorded a while back in whatever season allowed you to drive this car at Golden Max, but I figured now was the perfect time to upload it because I kind of wanted to compare and contrast it against the Victor, which was the car that a lot of people thought was going to dethrone the Imola from being the king, or at least be more stable and therefore a better drive in multiplayer. And I can definitely say that although I'm not quite sure which one is better in multiplayer, the Imola is definitely going to be the better event car. If you saw my max tests for both the Imola and the Victor, you'll probably have noticed that the Imola got up to a second and maybe even a little bit over a second better times on all the tracks, because I tested them on the exact same 4 tracks each time. In addition to this, recently the Imola has gotten more stable as well, so it doesn't have as many weird glitchy issues like it used to. I didn't quite have as many as some people did with them, but for those that did, that is now fixed. Now, I don't think a whole lot of people got this car because, again, it was in one of those special events that was just really difficult, and a lot of people, including myself, probably opted not to go for it because we already had a car like the Valhalla, which should still do quite well in Class A Elite events. And in my mind, the Valhalla and the Imola are currently the 2 kings of A-Class, with the Victor falling unfortunately slightly behind, but still being the best Legend Pass car that we've gotten in Asphalt 9 so far. So if you didn't have the Valhalla or the Imola at very high stars especially, and you wanted a good car for A-Class events, well, the Victor would probably be quite a good choice for you. But when I test cars, I always like to look at them from a very objective viewpoint, just based on the stats that they have, just in case, you know, if it becomes super popular later, and people will then come back and look at this video, and then realize, hey, this car is actually really good, I might want to test that, and this car is definitely a good one. It goes 243 miles per hour at max, and this is definitely one of the best in Class A, second only to the GT by Citroën, and slightly faster than the McLaren 570S. This is 3 miles per hour faster than the Victor at max, which goes 240 miles per hour, and actually the Imola has better stats in every stat than the Victor except for handling. 80 acceleration on the Imola versus 78 on the Victor, 71 nitro versus 69 on the Victor, nice. But where the Victor is better is in the handling, which is at 76 versus the Imola's 72. Now, you can probably tell that all of these stats are not actually that much different than each other. Every single one is within 5 points or so, and actually the biggest difference is in the speed stat, which again is only a 3 miles per hour difference. So judging by the stats, you would think that these cars would be really close to each other in terms of performance, and they are, but the Imola has the slight advantage where it matters in 3 different stats, and those little differences add up to possibly a second difference on some tracks. And I think that is why this car did manage to do better than the Victor on pretty much every track that I tested it on, and why I think the Imola is objectively a better car than the Victor. That is not to say that the Victor is not fun. It is certainly fun, and it does have the slight advantage in handling over the Imola, which could make it slightly closer to the Imola in multiplayer versus events, and that is where I think we will see the Victor really shine, in multiplayer. But as we've seen throughout this video, and we'll continue to see in the rest of the races, the Imola is certainly not bad in multiplayer either. I hadn't really had many bugs with this car in this set of recordings, and I've been keeping up quite well and been able to beat, in most cases, all the F8 Tributos and the Lamborghini SC18s that I met in multiplayer, which were 2 of the most competitive cars to this one. I also made a video about the SC18 at max in this same multiplayer season not too long ago if you'd like to check that out. This weekend, I plan to do an Asphalt 8 stream. Yes, you heard that right. Haven't done one of those in a while, and I'm doing it on what would usually be my off day from Asphalt 9 streams. If all goes according to plan, and Asphalt 8 actually opens on my computer, which it didn't last weekend, otherwise I would have played a little bit of it then, what we're going to be trying to do is going from unranked in the season all the way up to Elite League, and I have like 98 of the golden tickets and 99 of the other tickets, almost 200 tickets, so I think we should be good on that front. But the real question is, will we be able to do that in the span of 2 hours, or however long my stream will probably last? I think we probably can, but definitely come check the stream out out if you're interested in that. It'll be at the usual time, so don't worry about that. And in this race, we pulled ahead of that Tributo and beat 4 other Imolas to take the victory, and now we're moving on to another race on Shanghai. A couple of days ago, something happened on the Windows platform that was not too amazing. For a span of about 8 hours, at least that's what I heard from people, you could not access multiplayer or events or special events inside the game. The only thing that you could do was play career. I'm pretty sure it was some kind of server issue or something, because career is the only thing in Asphalt 9 that is not pulled from online. Now you have to be online to play it, I'm pretty sure, but from what I can see, they're at least stored client-side in the game, whereas the special events and stuff are not, as they're constantly being updated over the internet. So that's kind of what I think happened. I have no idea why it happened or anything like that, but Gameloft fixed it, and I got 150 tokens. I think it's probably as compensation for that. Let me know if you guys got that as well, or if it just happened to be a coincidence how I got that today. I tend to think that that was probably the reason though. Unfortunately, I was unable to play the final round of the Renault RS01 Grand Prix because of that. I usually wait till, not really the last second, but the last few hours before the round ends to play my time so that people don't really have a reason to come and try to beat me. You know, I've talked about that before, but I didn't get to this time, and I hadn't played one earlier like I usually actually have in the past. I've usually played one on the first day, just in case I forget in the second day, and that saved myself a lot of times, but unfortunately, in this case, I didn't do that, and I ended up in 10th position and was not able to get the car. Still stuck at 102. Such is the life of an Asphalt 9 free-to-play player in 2021. But do not fear, I am still upgrading old cars, trying to get as many new ones as I can. I've not given up, and I wouldn't suggest you do so yet either. As we enter our final race, I'd like to give my general review about this car. Honestly, I like it a lot. I know some people don't, but it really feels just like a buffed Huayra to me. The drifting is really good, the nitro efficiency is long-lasting, the acceleration isn't the best, but it is better than the 570S and the GT by Citroën. It is not quite as good as that of the Valhalla, which goes about 1 mile per hour slower than this car. It goes 243, the Imola goes 244. Overall, since this car's physics issues have apparently been fixed, I can definitely recommend it to anybody who is somehow able to get their hands on it. Perhaps it will come back in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!